government contracting. Here, let's get into it. In case you're new here, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks, and I've been awarded over $50 million federal government contracts. There is this amazing side hustle opportunity in the federal government space. Oh, it's beautiful. Many call it middleman. Some call it brokering. I always called it subcontracting. I've been in this space since 2007. So what is it, you may wonder? Does it take a lot of time? Is this legit? Can I really make money doing this? And the answer is yes to all of those questions, and I know you're thinking. In essence, the federal government needs to buy something, and I'm going to show you because there's no other way to talk about this without showing you. This is a great example. So what you have before you, and also feel free to put any questions in the chat box. I'm so glad that you all are here. Please feel free to engage with me. So right here, the federal government needs to replace NEMA cabinets. You know, in case you're like, well, what are those? Okay. You can at least get an idea by gleaming here. So you can see, okay, looks like they're metal. They look a little complicated, but I'm sure there is an expert or two or three or four or five in this space. And hello again to everyone who's here. So when it comes to these different opportunities, here's something to take notice. And this is where the whole middleman, the side hustle piece comes in. You are not the one doing the work. You are finding a firm, a product, an expert to provide the services. So for instance, we have a contract with the Department of Interior for radical collaboration training. We have team members who provide those specific radical collaboration training. That's what they do. That's all they do is radical collaboration. That's their expertise. That is no different than what we're looking at here, cabinets. You can sub these words for training, for IT, for trimming trees, paving cement, for staffing. And it's a side hustle because I want you to see how quickly this can happen, okay? So I looked up Department of Interior because they're often overlooked. Most people think Army, Navy, you know, Little Wayne kind of agencies. And you can see here, it's a total small business set aside, which we always like. And it only has a couple of attachments, which we also really like. So there's a PDF and then there's an Excel sheet. So if you do not have PDF or you do not have Excel, look into a way so you can look at these documents. And you also will notice the point of contact's email and phone number are listed. This is really important because if you have any questions, you simply call and email the person. Now, with anything in life, I can't guarantee they're going to write you back. I can't guarantee they're going to pick up the phone, but at least you have a phone number and you have an email address. And hello to everyone. Hello, Melody. I'm glad you're here and everybody's here. Okay, good, good. I love that people love the Park Service. Okay. So I'm going to switch to the attachments. So then you can take a look at what they desire. Okay. So right here is the attachment, the PDF. Remember, there's only two attachments, a PDF and an Excel. What I like to do is first and foremost, look for the evaluation criteria because I want to know how are they judging this. I just need to know. And you see right here, and I'll zoom in case the font is kind of small. And I know all the questions are there, and I will definitely answer your questions, so keep them coming. I will go through them. You will notice it says the criteria is below, or the criteria, they are below. So far, this just says they need to replace the cabinets, their electrical cabinets. It's at Wolf Trap National Park for the Performing Arts in Virginia, Vienna. That's in the DC area. They've included the wage determination, which I will talk about. The deadline is February 29th. And all you need to do is send one electronic copy to John and to Kaylee. They also want the price quote broken down as well as lump sum, which makes sense. Imagine if you called me and you said, hey, I would love for you to paint your house. And I'm like, okay, great. It's going to be $4,000. And you're like, $4,000? Well, what does that include? What kind of paint am I getting? Why is it $4,000? It's the same thing. Your quote must be valid for 90 days. You must acknowledge any amendments. Can't send anything late. And this is the NAICS code, which I'm going to put in the chat. So it's NAICS code. I know the screen went blank 238210. See if it came back up. Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to replace this. Okay, perfect. So that was just me typing an evaluation. And then what they basically did is, although they said, based upon the evaluation criteria noted below, in reality, this section is really instructions to offer, like what you need to do. So think about it. With a full-time job, with a part-time job, you are looking for somebody to replace electric cabinets in Vienna, Virginia. That's all you're looking for so far. There's nothing that I've mentioned that sounds ridiculous, other than if you're not in Sam.Gov, if you're completely new. Then here it says, this is how they're going to evaluate. Okay, so price, it's reasonable. Remember, you have to break it down. And technical, it says that you're able to meet the requirements in the statement of work. Now, at this point in time, some of you may be thinking, well, wait a minute, Kizzy, I don't have any background in cabinets. Why would they go with me? Why? Well, it's a total small business set aside, and they just need the cabinets replaced. That's all that they need. So you are brokering, you are the middleman, you are subcontracting this out. No different than Amazon. The Amazon delivery person, more than likely, they don't work for Amazon. And so they go with you because this is a small business set aside. So by awarding it to a small business, they're helping small businesses. And remember, the vast majority of companies in the United States are small businesses. So the steps are very simple. And you may, and what I want to also emphasize is, don't get discouraged as I'm scrolling here. Don't think like, oh my gosh, this is so much. Think about it in terms of, okay, well, what do you want to eat for dinner? Maybe you're like, oh, I'm feeling like Chinese. Okay, well, which Chinese? Do you have a favorite Chinese? Are you going to go to Yelp? Are you going to go to Google? Are you going to ask a friend? Are you going to go on Instagram? This is no different. You're just simply finding a company to provide what the government needs. That's all you're doing. So it's Wolf Trap. So we can then type in, so next step, and you all are so amazing. Yeah, KPC, yes, that's my flagship company. Okay. Just a second. Okay. So what I ended up doing is, you'll see here in the other screen, I just simply typed in Vienna, Virginia electric cabinets. And you're going to see a list of companies who are in the cabinet business. So what you want to then do is you want to contact a minimum of 1. I would contact a maximum of 5, because what you're doing is you're getting different price quotes. No different than, okay, you want Chinese food. So you go on Yelp, you're on your phone, you're like, okay, this one has 3 stars, this one has 4. Okay, this one's open late. Oh, I like the pictures on this one. You're narrowing down which vendor and quote or which price you're going to submit based on what you get from them. Okay? So all the information, all of the details for the opportunity, it's in that PDF. So what's key is for you to be able to put it in layman terms. Hey, I'm looking for electric cabinets to be replaced at Wolf Trap National Park. So then when you call, okay, let's say we call, let's find a good one, JDC Fab. Well, maybe not JDC Fab. I don't think they're in America. Sorry about that, y'all. And then call that one. Maybe Autumn Electric. You can reach out to them. Hey, Autumn Electric, I'm looking to talk to somebody in sales. I heard that you are the go-to company to replace these NEMA cabinets. I'm working on an opportunity with the federal government, and I would love to get a price quote. Is this type of work that you may be interested in? It's for Wolf Trap National Park. They may say, oh, yeah, da, 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 da. And it may take numerous times because not everybody wants to be involved in this kind of work. You may also ask yourself, well, why don't these people submit it themselves? Why are you submitting it? Because they're not interested in going through this. Their passion is with electrical things or whatever area that they're in. That's their passion. And so they're so deep in the passion, they're not in the government contracting space necessarily. And for those of you who maybe have the mindset of, well, what if somebody takes this from me? What if Autumn Electric bids on it without me? You can go to Sam.Gov, you log in, and you can search their name to see if they're a government contractor. And guess what? Chances are they may say, yeah, we're a government contractor, but we don't really want to deal with all the paperwork. That's why this is a great side hustle. The majority of your time is on the searching and contacting these firms. And the tighter you come across and the more professional you come across, the more apt they're going to be like, oh my gosh, of course, hey, yeah. So, for instance, I learned of this opportunity from a colleague. And while I was sitting at his desk, he pulled it up. He made a phone call. The guy on the phone was like, oh my gosh, because he took the call from his computer. So I was able to hear everything. And the guy on the other end was like, oh my gosh, I'm very familiar with Wolf Trap. I would love this opportunity. I love when young people call me. I've been in this business like 40 something years. Like the guy was really cool. So with this particular opportunity, you're getting the information from them. You're getting the technical information from them. You're getting the pricing information. And this particular bid, let me get this for you all. They actually provide you with a bid sheet. Not every opportunity does that, but this one came with a bid sheet. So you would ask the company that you're going to go with, all the companies you're getting quotes from, to provide the information accordingly. Hey, can you break it down by hours, your rate, Is there there's an electrician? Who else is involved? What else is involved? And the other tip is, when you give them the information, don't just email them that PDF. Here you go. Can you tell me what it will cost? I mean, like, that's a lot. Imagine if somebody did that for you. Like, let's say imagine you make cakes, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting married. I just want a big old chocolate cake. You're gonna be like, what? What am I supposed to do with that? Right? You want to make it as easy as possible, because you want multiple quotes. It'd be cool to get 5 quotes, so then you can adjust, because you're putting your profit on top of this. So if they say, oh, well, we charge $85 for an electrician, you can bump up that to $95, $110, because they already said they are evaluating this by looking at the cost and your technical response. Since these are companies who specialize in electronics and cabinets in this entire space, they're the experts. They're going to give you that information. And I saw some questions already and I'm going to answer some of these questions about like general liability insurance and things of that nature. All you have to do is do a control. On my computer, it's a Command F to see, do you need bonding? Do you need a license? Do you need insurance? And a tip is, those may be no-goes for you. When you do a Control F, if you're like, oh my gosh, it needs bonding and this insurance and a special license from New Hampshire, then don't bid on it. This is one where the requirements are quite nominal for what they're looking for. So then for this one, you would fill out that Excel sheet. You would have a cover page. Then your second page, depending on how long your document is, the second page may be a table of contents. It may not be. The second page, you talk about your company. You include the past performance. Again, the past performance of your subcontractor. And then you go into, yes, we are going to use blank, blank, blank cabinets. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. You can get that information from them and or from ChatGPT, everyone. I use ChatGPT quite regularly. You can also use ChatGPT to ensure that you're able to describe how, loosely how you're going to go about doing it. Because at the end of the day, for something like this is a one and done effort. It's like, you deliver the cabinets, they're going to check off on the cabinets, you invoice, then you get paid. And in this space, you should be able to negotiate a net 30, or you may say, listen, I'll do a net 15. And by doing so, can you give me a 5% discount on the price I quoted you? So those are some things to think about. So when it comes to middleman, side hustle in the government, this is one opportunity. There are thousands of opportunities like this. They all are not cabinets, but that's basically how this works. And those who really get it, they lean into it. They have their processes and procedures in place. They have other people doing it, and then they're able to scale and scale and scale. But if you're like, I just want maybe 1 win, or I just want 2 wins, or I just want an extra $3,000. This is a great one to start with. That's why I was so eager to share it tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and start answering questions. Do you send them the bid sheet? Yes. Who's they? Are you talking about the subcontractor or the middleman? If you mean they, yes. So they and the federal government. What if the company you're subcontracting has all the bonding and insuring? Would that work? As long as the opportunity allows for that. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's the prime. So for instance, this is a great question, Kimmy. Someone had messaged me on Instagram about an opportunity. It seems amazing. It's for school buses. To have them, you got to drive them. However, it explicitly said the prime contractor must have experience as a prime or as a sub with school buses. And then there were all these other things like licenses, other things. So they're telling you You got to have this. What if someone sends you a sheet for credit? For you, flushing the left, are you referring to a sheet for you to apply for credit with them? If so, then fill it out unless you have the money to pay them. Okay, Mike, hello to you too. I love all my GovCon winners here. I think this is a really good one too, is the poverty czar talked about there's always a fear of bidding. There's like this interesting connection to your name because you have like poverty czar in your name, which could reference a lot of different things. But the fear is it. It's just fear because you don't have the experience you just don't have that experience yet. So you're just going to let fear hold you back and fight for your excuses? No, we don't do that here. Yes, there's a fear of bidding, but if you don't do it, then you're never going to win anything. There are companies right now making millions of dollars a year doing this. I have different subcontractors. We bring in millions a year. A gentleman who I saw here in Tulum, Mexico, he showed me one of his contracts. Here, I'm going to share it with you all. I met him here when I was leaving the gym in Tulum, beautiful Tulum, Mexico. And I was like, oh, wow, there's a black dude riding a bike. And I was like, oh, I wonder, that's so cool. Listen, there ain't a ton of black people here. So, and then he's like, Dr. Parks. And we started talking and he's amazing. So I'm gonna look at this because I don't want to share all of his information in here. And he won a contract for $612,000 to 612 269.15. He won this contract. And he sent me a copy of the award details. The award is in Sam.Gov. And he's also has a full-time job. And so, let's just say low, he gets 10% of that. Would you want 10% of $612,000? I think we all would. And so, yes, it can seem scary. It can seem like, well, it can't be that easy. There's no way. I didn't say you're going to get a bunch of wins out the gate. There's still work. I have the mindset of ease. But it's still, you got to find the opportunity. You still have to call. You have to email. You got to get the information. You have to do typing. You have to, you have to do some of those things. But at the end of the day, to me, this is a better side hustle than getting paid to click a button. Or I remember once I was paid back in the day to be a secret shopper. I used to love it because I was really overweight and I loved eating fast food. So I love that. I think I had to go to Popeyes. And this was Popeyes way before that chicken sandwich. So I love stuff like that. But how many times did I do that? I don't know. I think I did it twice, 3 times. There are people who drive Uber and don't make a ton of money. There are people who drive Uber and make a ton of money. I just think this is an awesome side hustle because you can do it 24 hours a day. And even if you're working during normal business hours, have somebody make the phone calls on your behalf. Because the thing is, when somebody reaches out, it's a blessing. I had a large company reach out because they know of me. And they're like, hey, we want to partner on this opportunity with the Florida National Guard. And I was like, say less. It's like, sign me up. Because they did all the heavy lifting. They wrote the proposal. We negotiated the pricing. We submitted it. Everything was beautiful. And we ended up being the prime contractor. It was gorgeous. It was an awesome opportunity. Because we didn't have to do all the heavy lifting. Now, of course, there are people out there who are going to be like, no, this could be a scam. I got it, but just move on. That's why I can't emphasize enough the mindset piece of this. I know we're going to win contracts. I know you're going to win contracts. Everybody here, there's no reason you can't. There's no reason. So I just want to share that passionately. I'm going to go back to these questions, okay? Let's see. National Park. Yeah, it's great. I love that you submitted one in January. Yeah, and learning to love, feel free to contact them. That's the other thing. Even when you submit a bid, feel free to contact them, email, call them. If you have a question about this one, contact them. Do you use any proposal writing software? No. I mean, it's Word documents converted to PDF, cutting and pasting from previous contracts, and Chat GPT. So I guess if you consider Chat GPT writing software, it depends on, but I use it all the time. And by no means am like the prompt queen at all. I just do the best that I can do, and it works. Yes, the prime has to submit the proposal. So you must have a cage code. For those of you who are like super, super new to this, you just go to Sam.gov and get a cage code. All you need is a legal business and a physical address. That's it. You don't have to pay anything. Sam.gov, like Uncle Sam with the hat.gov. That's it. Yes, and then they work for you. This is one of the many reasons I use the word team, because I have people who are employees, I have people who are 1099, I have different vendors. Everyone is part of our team. Excuse me. So for instance, with us, we have some work right now. We're doing some research for the FDA. Most of the people on that contract, they don't work for me, like in the sense of they're not getting a paycheck. They are contracted to provide the services. Happens all the time. TSA, because I just flew earlier today. TSA has contracts for TSA security. Chances are the TSA in your area, they don't work for the government. When you call the IRS with a question, they probably don't work for the government. When you call Sam.gov with the question, they probably don't work for the government either. I dare you, ask them. Ask them. Hey, I'm just curious. Are you a government employee or are you a contractor? Let me know what you find out. With this type of approach, which firm needs to submit the proposal? Okay, got it. So again, the prime contractor submits the proposal. No matter what it is you're submitting, whether it's cell phones, because I interviewed Isaiah, who won a contract, he sold cell phones, whether it's training, whether it's staffing, whether it's HVAC, whether it's tree trimming, it doesn't matter. It's fixing fences. Fencing is another big one too. You're the one who's leading all of that. Okay, Damien. Okay, good. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate you. Okay. And I love this. Is there a certain NDA or contract that allows the prime to minister their liability, considering we are handling the admin side, not the physical? So you can go to gcwdocs.co. gcwdocs.co, and there are some documents there for free. So typically, this is what we do. So we win an opportunity and we're like, oh, we need to onboard a trainer. We will ask for, sometimes we'll ask for the resume, a bio, have them fill out a W-9, unless they're a corporation. With corporations, you don't have to give them 1099s legally. And you also only issue a 1099 if they're paid over $600. That number does change every year, so please make sure you are working with a CPA, tax attorney, a financial professional. We also have them sign an NDA, an independent contractor service agreement, and we provide them a purchase order. Sometimes we will also issue them a subcontract, depending on the value. If it's a contract where we're talking about multiple millions, we'll issue them a subcontract agreement. Otherwise, it's an NDA, independent contractor service agreement, the W-9, and then we ask for information, other information about their firm. They have to fill out all of those documents. And then we have calls. The team will have a call with them. Hey, this is what you need to do. Make sure, like for instance, case in point, for this opportunity, it is at a park, right? So hopefully they're not going in there at 10 p.m. to Wolf Trap National Park for the performing arts, right? They're going to be asked to go during certain hours. So you want to make sure these are the hours that you go. You also want to just double check, is there any kind of a requirement for attire? Is there anything special that they need to do to gain access? Because the company that you're sending in is a reflection of you. And the more and more you win, the easier it is for you to not only win more, but to dominate in an area. It's just how it works. So those are some things that I like to do. It really helps in just having expectations. Nothing crazy now. I just want to put that out there. Nothing crazy. Oh, minimize, not minister. It's okay. I had a quick question. So I tried to get into my SAM. I forgot to update my number before I replaced my phone number. Okay, well, you're going to have to call Sam.Gov. And I'll give that phone number to everybody. But you're going to have to do that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, SAM helpline 866-606-8220. 866-606-8220. Okay. I have a SDVOSB, so when I submit the info for the reply, I submit the subcontractor's info with my info. Okay, so in terms, I'm just looking for something, you all. I think it's behind here. So in terms of the opportunity I just shared, it's a total small business. So being SDVOSB doesn't have any play with this. It doesn't have any bearing. So you may want to clarify. And also, if y'all haven't grabbed a copy, GovCon Winners Way book, winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. Please check out a copy. Okay, we already asked that. We have somebody appreciate this. I will not get into government contracts. Cool, I hope you do. In my opinion, it's one of the most overlooked side hustles. It is. Nobody talks about government contracting as a side hustle. But many of the people I come across, many of the people I've interviewed, they work. I actually have somebody who recently won, and I asked to interview him, and he's like, I really can't because of my employer. Say less. I'm not here to get you fired. You know, it makes complete sense. Can I recommend general liability insurance companies? Geico. I mean, there's so many out there. There isn't one that I'm like, use that one. Use the one that's best for you. Also, USAA, you might want to check with them. They may offer general liability. There's so many options out there. Okay, we have that one. Kendall, yes. Can foreign companies do U.S. government contracting? Yes. You just need an N as a Nancy Cage, N Cage. So we have Jamila. Do you know any website builder? An agency asked me to make a website as part of the phase-in of the contract. I hope I won the bid. That's beautiful. I hope you have too. Girl, go on Fiverr. Go on Upwork. And then take their credentials and say, hey, look, here's some of their examples. Because usually in Fiverr with V and R's, they usually have their examples there. So then you can quickly turn it around. Like show them, hey, because we like to see. Like the other thing with the federal government is thinking of the terms of Instagram. We love Instagram, even if it's videos. It doesn't matter if videos or photos, because we like the visual. We love to see it. So the more you're able to be like, oh yeah, here, take a look at their work. And you can actually give them work from both vendors. And then once you win, you then get to choose. Hi, Sarah, Albert, Handpick, Gustavo, you all are amazing. Okay, so Miss Lyric, Daniel, do SBA certifications matter when I'm acting? So let me best answer that. I just shared an opportunity with everyone. I'm going to put the link here so you can take a look, and I'll actually share my screen so you can see what I am even talking about. Okay, perfect. So for this opportunity, it is a total small business. Pretty much everybody watching this, you are a total small business. There are thousands of opportunities. People have multi 20, 30, $40 million a year business just off of total small business. Now, here's where the set aside comes in handy. I'm going to go back here and kind of reset things. Contract opportunities, advanced search, set aside. So let's do certified WOSB and SDVOSB. And we only want to look at solicitations. So for those of you who are really new to this, we're looking at what they want to buy, right? What are they looking to buy? So, and then you can even drill it down even further. So in the next 3 months, there's 668 in the next 3 months. So for Miss Lyric and for everybody else watching, when you have this set aside, you're narrowing the competition. So under total small business, some small businesses are doing 40 million a year. Some small businesses are doing 0 a year. Now, now that I've put in woman owned and veteran, it further narrows it down. So now there's 668 opportunities, but only companies with either one of these can bid. Predominantly, the VA uses the SDVOSB, and you'll see, let's see, there's 141 for woman-owned. Paving, supervisor, community of practice support. I mean, there's several of them here. And for many of these, you can use the middleman approach. It's just now you're only competing with a small segment. That's pretty much how that works. Okay, there's other tips and strategies, but I don't want to, I'm not here to overwhelm you or for you to be like, I don't know about that. So is the government space becoming saturated? I'd say no. What I found has happened is that if everybody is, what's up, Stefan? If everybody is bidding on something similar because of TikTok, then yeah, it's going to be saturated, but it's not the market. It's like that one thing. So I don't know if that best answers your question, but that's how I see it. Yes, thank you, Kimmy. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button for this video. Please do that. Get a copy of my book, GovCom Winners Way, winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. It was an Amazon bestseller under a variety of categories. Thank you for calling me beautiful. Hair is popping. We're here in Mexico. Oh no, there's only 3 likes. Yeah, you guys, let's get more likes. Thank you for that, Miss Lyric. If everybody would be kind enough to hit that like button, hit that notification button, share. I am so eternally grateful, y'all. Hit the notification. Hit the like, share. Please do so. Please, please, please do so. I'm going to go back. I'm going to answer all your questions. I'll probably stay on like another 10 minutes or so. I got so close on a bid for trash removal. Thank you for everything. Don't give up. Don't give up. Okay? And this not only goes to Stefan, Steven. Hopefully I got it right, one of those. But this is for everybody here. Don't give up. There's no way, no reason you shouldn't, Steve. Okay, thanks. You shouldn't win a contract. You know, there's a lot of, well, but but then fight for your excuses then. Then keep fighting for them. You know, but and I get it. You know, it took me a long time to get to where I am. And I'm still messing up and doing wacky things, but I keep getting back up, dust myself off. I keep going forward, you know, and I ask the same of y'all too. Okay, so hit that like button, y'all. Thank you so much. Use your video. Good, good, good. I'm glad that you did that, Simply Senora. I love that. Like button, like button, like button. Okay. Somebody asked if something was blurry. Sometimes it may be blurry when I'm changing screens, so sometimes that does happen. Okay. Your advice is always great. Thank you so much. It's real world. I have about 100 people who work for me. I bid on a variety of things. I'm also going to start releasing some videos like Kizzy tries to try and bid on different things that I've never bid on before. Plus, there's some new offerings. Plus, there's even more things that are going to come out, because what I want to be able to do, this is great. This is groundbreaking. I've never shared this ever before. I want to be able to provide to all of you, everybody out there who's like, man, I would love to earn some extra money, or I want to leave my job, or hey, I'm just interested in this space because of my personal, my financial, my professional, and my family goals. Provide to each and every one of you a system that gets you there in 4 months. I'm not saying it's getting you a yacht and hanging out with Rihanna, but a system giving you the plan so that you are set up to win within 4 months and to continuously win. I remember this one woman reached out to me. I mean, this was probably a year or so ago. And she was like, yeah, I'd hired a coach and I won a contract. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay. Well, but I don't know how she won it for me. And I think about her a lot, because being able to repeat is key. Without being able to repeat it, then it's like, okay, I won 3 contracts. Okay, well, that's beautiful. You won 3 contracts. Are you going to be able to repeat that? Maybe you don't want to repeat it. Maybe you're like, no, that's good. I got the money. I want to go on a girls' trip. I want to go on my family trip. I want us to go on spring break. I want to be able to have money set aside for the holidays. That's cool too. What's important, though, is you at least are able to do so, because I see people doing this all the time. This isn't just like a one-off. I don't know about all the people on TikTok and stuff, but the people who I surround myself with are doing way better than I am. And that's how it should be. I never, ever, ever want to be the most successful person in the room. Never. So flushing the left. Your screen name is so funny. You can find financing if you have a government contract. You find a lot of places that'll give you a loan against it. That's something, it really varies. I mean, Bank of America, probably not. But high interest loans, you can do factoring. There are lots of options that are out there. The differentiator has to do with your credit. If you have bad credit, I mean, you already know. And I had bad credit for a few years. So it's not like this is news, like breaking news. You're going to have troubles getting loans. So, maybe it's you shadow a government contractor. Maybe you work for a government contractor. Maybe you work for the federal government. And then once your credit gets to a certain point, you then step out. Who knows? Or maybe you only bid on certain things where you feel really confident, like the one I just gave, like the example here. Oh, I got away from it. But like the earlier example, where you're going to be able to do a net 30. Or even this example. Let me show you all this one right quick. This is a service disabled, and thank you all for your service. Anyone who's watching that's who's a veteran. I mean, this one is for housekeeping at a cemetery. I mean, it does have a lot of attachments, and I know that there's some people out there that don't like to bid on things with a lot of attachments. Other people are cool with it. Nonetheless, it's an opportunity, is the point that I'm making. And it's low risk. And, that's just pulling these things up while talking to you all here. Don't forget to like the video, share, hit the notification button, subscribe. Can you 1099 subcontract whole company to do half of the work? Yeah, you subcontract it to them to do the cemetery cleaning, to install the cabinets. You're the one managing, you're the one overseeing, you're the one invoicing. Where can I get or how can I generate an agreement between me and the prime? Go to gcwdocs.co. gcwdocs.co. Docs.co. You want an NDA, an independent service contract agreement, and you want to give them a purchase order. You have to issue them a purchase order. It's best if you issue it through like a QuickBooks. Well, this is amazing. I love this. Kianta, might be Kianta. I want to contract with my city and I want to know if, okay, I'm going to take a picture of this because I'm so excited. Okay, I'm so excited. So tell me, put the question that you have in here. Let me see if I don't see anything from you. Okay. Where do you find DBE or MBE federal contracts? It doesn't exist. So Mark, you have total small business, service disabled, veteran-owned small business, economically disadvantaged woman-owned, Buy Indian from Buy Indian Act, Hub Zone, 8A. That's what you have. And the 8A, it's based on social economic disadvantage and your net worth. Just like with woman-owned, your income plays a role. Your hub zone, where you live, where your office is located, play a role. Oh, Erin, you're so sweet. Thank you so much for the super chat. I love that. Erin, you're always so sweet to me with the super chats. Can I quit my job being a middleman? Can you quit your job and be a middleman? Yeah. Hell yeah, you can. Listen, if you spent all your waking hours, okay, maybe not all your waking hours now. This is kind of taking the side hustle and turning it into the main hustle. You spend 8 to 10 hours a day honing in on opportunities and getting quotes and submitting bids. You submit 5 a week. There's no reason you can't. I haven't even talked about the real estate pieces. I haven't even talked about that. You can flip hotel rooms. There's short-term housing. There's a lot of opportunities out there. There's a ton of opportunities. So yes. Oh, Bo the Pro. I love it. And I interviewed Bo. I'm so glad that you're here. I enjoy you too. And congratulations again on your mold removal contract. So I love that. Okay. Let's see. I know there's more questions. I'm going to go back. Totally new. Just received the book. Does the prime let the government know they're using subs and gives them? That's a Camilla. That's a really good question because this comes up a lot. So I would say most of the time, but also most of the time everybody knows what's going on. They know. Like if you win a cabinet, let's say I win that cabinet opportunity I started off talking about, and Eileen's cabinets show up, they're going to be like, oh, okay, it's through Kizzy. It's through KPC. The only time where they don't let them know or they're trying to pull some smoke and mirror is if they're trying to scam the government. There was a situation with the VA with a construction contract where the awardees did that. They made the government believe that the subcontractors they were using were also service disabled. Because with the VA, they're very strict. If you go after service disabled work, you have to sub to SDVOSBs. So usually, yes. There has been a situation where I was asked to make sure my subs all have the same email as my company. So that was requested of us. They never said to anybody, like, I work for Kizzy. It was, oh, I'm on that contract. So they wanted the uniformity that regardless of if they were an employee or a sub, they all still had a KPC email address. I've had that personally happen. What industry? Gustavo, I've been asked that, and I'm kind of torn. Part of me is like HVAC, paving, training. Then there's this part of me like, put in weird agencies, like Department of Interior. Nobody's like, oh, I want to do work for Fish and Wildlife, and we have $1 million contract with them. I mean, I say it's this balance, because you could have two completely similar opportunities with vastly different requirements. And you may see like, oh, wow, Fish and Wildlife, their requirements and putting together these proposals, this is way easier than with Army or than with Department of State. So sometimes you got to taste it. It's like a buffet. You know, there are things that you may say, I don't know if I want to eat that, but then you taste it and you're like, oh my gosh, I love it. Right? That's really how this is. Antonio, yes. And I just interviewed Antonio. Your video's dropping. Or people who are watching this after the fact, your video would have dropped. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, I love Fish and Wildlife. I mean, I had never really bid on anything with them until less than a year ago. Definitely don't sleep on FDA, USDA, Fish and Wildlife. How do you find opportunities to flip hotel rooms? Letitia, I put a C in there. There's no C. Let me get the NAICS code. Just give me a second. So here, let me show you all what I'm doing. One way to search for specific things are by NAICS codes. I go in here all the time. I do not have these things memorized. So I'll put hotels. Copy it. Then in Sam.Gov, I go to Contract Opportunities, Advanced Search. Product or service information, I cut and paste. You can see it matches. I didn't do anything else. I just cut and pasted. Now, all of these opportunities may not be active, so you can go over here and do within 3 months. So you can see there's a conference in Louisiana, lodging for 52 people in Poland, Army, lodging program for different drills, 300 nights. Let's see, that one's now due in March. Event coordination, blue ribbon, lodging, hotel berthing. You get the gist. So the key to these are the government doesn't pay for tax. So you're going to need to get a document from that location, making sure that you're tax exempt, and or you may be able to work directly with that hotel. And they may say, oh, this is for the federal government. Don't worry, we'll just give you the GSA rates, okay, which is what the government bases their hotel rates off of. Also, as with most middleman, just be careful, because sometimes these hotels, they also have cage codes and they may bid on it themselves. But that's all, it took a couple minutes. And also, work with the hotel and say, hey, is it all right if I pay you after the fact? And I want you to hear something, y'all. I want you to hear this, because I do love me some Anna Delvey. And she's a trip. And if you watched anything about her or any of the shows or movies about her, basically she scammed these hotels. So she would go to these hotels and she was like, oh, I'm this heiress and we're going to wire transfer you the money. And she would stay in these very high-end hotels for like 30 days. She would never pay them. There was one hotel she paid, but even during that time, they weren't like, hey, you need to give us that card. We need to swipe the Visa, City Girls or anything. They just let it go. And I remember watching thinking like, oh, this must be some privilege thing, or, where are these places she stayed? Every time I check in for a hotel, first thing they say is, can we have your ID and your method of payment, right? unless somebody has put down a credit card on your behalf. So I was like, man, this is privilege, right? Until we started flipping hotels for a Fortune 500 company that every single one of you would recognize. And these bills were pretty large, hundreds of thousands to 7 million. And this particular company, they would cancel the rooms and then they would leverage us to pay the cancellation fees. They would leverage us to pay when the rooms were used. And these hotels wouldn't be paid for months on end. Months. Now, unlike on Delvey, who seemed like she wasn't going to pay him anyways, this is not the case. My point is, if there are hotels who allowed a woman not to pay, and then you have a Fortune 500 company who's able not, who has a setup where they're able to leverage hotels and all these services and don't pay for months, why can't we do that? Why should I be treated differently as a business owner? So I just want to put that out there. And this is where negotiation, persuasion, sales skills play a role. And I'm speaking from what I've experienced. Okay? So those are my thoughts about hotel rooms. I think it's a good play. I'm close to closing my first USDA contract. Awesome, Joshua. I love the USDA. They're my one of my favorites. Okay, Sarah. Do you do webinars, how to write capability and how to bid? It's a whole new world. I love that. Cheers, mate, to you too. I plan on doing things. I have videos. I plan on doing more. I probably will create like a community in school, like to cover all of this and more. So the answer is it's forthcoming. But there are things that are out there. And here, let me give this to you guys too. profitablecontracts.co/free. You can get a free capability statement. I put it in the chat too. profitablecontracts.co/free. And hello, Sosa. Hello to all of you. Do you have a walkthrough or info on the 8A EDWSB? I'm laughing at myself. I'm like, I can't even, I'm like, Christian, Christina. I don't know why I'm messing up names today. Please overlook that. But please hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. winnerswaybook.com. Don't forget winnerswaybook.com, y'all. So I don't have like an elaborate walkthrough. It's something that I just don't. There's no other way to put it. I will say this. If you are looking to bid, listen, if you are looking to go after the 8A program, please make sure you have anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000 in sales. If you don't, then don't even worry about it. If you do, please use easy8a.com. That's who I used over 10 years ago. They're amazing. They're going to get you in. I think it's between $5,000 and $6,000. It's worth the money. If you want to do it yourself, then just tack on like 8 months to the process. But I mean, I would pay somebody. Want to buy an advanced program? Okay, Joshua, well, then send an email. chat@kizzyparks.com. We have a couple of things. Like I've said for anyone just joining, I said my biggest goal is to be able to offer a solution. So like in 4 months, you're like on fire. That's the goal. I mean, I've had people go through my challenge, which I'm revamping and offering it soon. So that's why I haven't talked about it. Gone through my challenge and won a contract. So I just want to keep making things better and better. Okay, Aaron, I appreciate you so much. Do I need my cage code? Yes, you do. Just go to Sam.Gov, Aaron, Sam.Gov. Doesn't, Sam.Gov. Okay, this is Anson 16. Started watching videos, not sure where to start. Navigate. Are you able to help me with a starter pack video? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I do have a starter kit. I'll probably have to put that in the chat after the fact. The answer is yes. And that's why I'm in this like development phase, like this in the lab phase, and that's also one of many reasons I'm here in Tulum, Mexico. I'm in Tulum, Mexico. So, because I want to put together the best package for you. So I have some things. This is what I'll say for you to do right now. This is not just for Anson 16, but this is for everybody watching. You get a cage code. Be ready to be resourceful, to talk to people, to read, and to write. If you're willing to do that, you have an abundant mindset, you have a, I'm going to make this work, then you're going to win contracts. Because the rest is just mechanism. You're going to be able to win them in a few months. I promise you. I promise you. So send an email, Joshua. Like I said earlier, send that email, chat@kizzyparks.com. Okay. Going through all of these questions. Can you win contracts in states where you don't live? Heck yeah, Raymond. Or countries you don't live. You can do so. I'd posted in my Facebook group, and make sure you join if you haven't. I'll put that here in the chat. I met a woman who does purchasing for Jamaica, and I put the link in my Facebook group. Why couldn't you bid on work in Jamaica? That'd be fun. Okay. Thank you, Anson, for your kind words. Channel's purposeful, and you're doing an awesome job. I appreciate you. You all are doing an awesome job. I promise you, I think, again, this is one of the most overlooked side hustles is federal government contracting. People make it seem scarier and more difficult and more challenging than what it is. It doesn't mean you're going to, start winning contracts, but definitely within a few months. You definitely will win it faster than if you were doing it alone. Definitely. Okay. So JS Schrizzle, can you please send me an info to get started? I'm not registered business on Sam. Got it. So at the end of the day, you have to have a business. That's basic. You just have to have a business. As long as you have a business, just register it on Sam. That's all you got to do. Just start with there. And then the next thing is, as far as like, well, what do I sell? I say you sell what you're comfortable with. There are areas and there are agencies that are going to be easier to get wins than others. So here's a great example. And this is hot off the presses. So soon I'm dropping an amazing offering all about selling products. Okay. There's a special website you go to, gpo.gov. And the gentleman who I partnered with on this, Steve, he shared this great this great situation where the government buys pencils. Like maybe, I don't even know if kids still use pencils, but pencils, they don't write in cursive anymore. I don't know what they're using. Yes, the school, it could be a fancy school and they're using iPads. Who knows? So the government buys pencils, but that market, it's really challenging to win and the margins are super low. So he doesn't bid on those types of opportunities. So you may be somebody who's gung-ho about products, but why bid on pencils unless you're able to get the pencils at such a great deal that you can further decrease the price, right? So that's where some of this comes in. Like, yeah, you can sell products, but maybe you're not selling pencils. Yeah, you're interested in facility management. Maybe you're not doing janitorial. It's just a lot of that. And some of it is with you. Like, when I first started out, I did diversity and inclusion. We don't really do diversity and inclusion anymore at all. And it has nothing to do with anything around diversity and inclusion. It's just that I've evolved and I love staffing. My goal is to have 300 people. That's really what I want to focus on and partner with an 8A. So if you're an 8A watching this, please make sure you contact me. Chat@kizzyparks.com, DM me, reach out to me. So I'm going to answer a few more questions. Is there a software that you can recommend to stay organized? Excel, Google Docs. This is really for you. There is a log. Let me share this link too. profitablecontracts.co/log. I'll put this here. Oh man, Lorraine, dang, big bucks. I love it. Thank you. No, Lorraine, thank you for all being here. Thank you sincerely, y'all, each and every one of you being here at this hour, like it warms my heart. So man, this is amazing. Okay. Betty, I have a cleaning business and I'm ready to grow. Let me share, Betty, let me share the game with you and everybody else who's interested in cleaning. Number one, you're going to have to go low on your price. That doesn't mean you're not going to make a profit. You're going to have to go low. Number two, you're probably not going to be doing the work. You're going to have people 1099. Number three, the work is going to be in remote places, in like Idaho and New Mexico and Western New York and Keokuk, Iowa. Like that's where these opportunities are going to be. So if you're willing to bid on that type of work, then by all means. One of my students who I interviewed, Anna, out the gate, their first prime contract, janitorial in the great state of Texas. So, I mean, it's definitely doable. I mean, I ran across a woman named Kim who was in the middle of potentially buying a janitorial government contracting company who within, I think, 16 months had built their book of business to over $2 million. But the play is you're going to have to go low. You're going to have to 1099 the people. And it's not going to be your own people doing the work for the most part. Okay. So, Aaron, you're so sweet. So the mentorship, it varies. I would say send an email, chat@kizzyparks.com. There is something right now that I'm selling, but then, like I said, I'm building new things. So y'all, I'm in this place. And I've said before, if somebody's like, I just want you one-on-one, it's $500,000. And you may be like, $500,000? That's crazy. Yeah. And it's crazy because I'm on 10x your money. Okay. I took your log and put it into, okay, cool. He put it into a CRM, or she, whoever I am make moves. Is this like Doja Cat? Moo, get out the way. No, that's not how that goes. Why am I mixing songs? See, this is what happens. This is what happens. You gotta get the clown and the hook. Take me off. Okay, but that's cool. Yeah, I just talked about the one-on-one. Garlinda. I love it. That's a beautiful name. Garlinda. It sounds so beautiful. But so seriously, if you want something more advanced, send an email, chat@kizzyparks.com. And I'm building new things. I'm just being honest because again, my why is not to pay my bills. My why is not because, ooh, this is a hot spot. Let me start selling a bunch of shit. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. A bunch of stuff. I'm so sorry. Yes, subscribe, hit that notification, like. Please hit the like button. winnerswaybook.com. Don't forget winnerswaybook.com. Get a copy. Get a copy. So my why is because my goal is to help you through my content, through my experience, through the experience of people that I'm teaming with, to help you achieve your family goals, your financial goals, your personal, your professional, all the goals that you have. That's my objective, is to help you. And especially for those of you interested in a side hustle, because everybody else talking about flip on, Amazon, drive for Uber, deliver pizzas, go to this website and click here, do this, go on Fiverr, go on Upwork. Well, you're going to end up making more money with the federal government. Now, the only difference is for some of these, you can make money like that if you need money today, well, government contracting is not going to be the thing. You got to go on Uber or ask somebody if they can use extra help. But with government contracting, within a few months, you're going to end up like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this has happened. That happened with Joe, who I interviewed. And he's also in my Facebook group. He thought, oh, maybe in a couple of years, I'll be able to quit my job and do full government contracting full time. Check out his interview. He was able to quit his job before he knew it. Again, it's all about what you desire. If you want to build $100 million business, you can. And I'm not BSing you. I'm not BSing you. If you're like, I just want to win a couple contracts, you can win a couple contracts. If you want to be like, nah, this is hard, then it's going to be hard. What you believe will be. Jasmine, well, you get access to me. You get access to my team. You get access to me full time. You get access to every tool under the sun to 10x your investment. That's what it consists of. Okay. And that's a great question. Is it easy to get funding for buying government products? It depends on your credit history. Garlinda, I understand $500,000 value. Okay, I get it. Good. Yeah, start with the book. Like, There's other offerings that I have and more is to come, but just start with the book. What I preach time and time again: learn, apply, adjust. Learn, apply, adjust. Learn, apply, adjust. That's what you have to do. I don't care who you're learning from, it's just learn, apply, adjust. That's all it is. That's all it is every time. There's a contract where we're on a qualified vendors list. Oh my gosh, we've lost and lost and lost. Every single time we learn, we apply something new and we adjust it to the next one. Every single time. Because guess what? We're not giving up. We're not giving up. That's what matters. Just don't give up. We all start somewhere. I started out with free stuff, going to SCORE, SBDC, Small Business Development Center, today's Apex, things like that. Yeah, Keonta, I would love that too. How hard is USDA or FDA? It's not. I don't look at any of them as being hard. They're just all very different. I love Antonio's. I love Antonio because you're like, you ain't playing. Send me for mentorship. Antonio's crazy. Yeah. Okay. My why is I want to submit contracts while I live overseas. Yeah, that's great. And you can. There's no reason you can't. Yeah, please subscribe. Yeah, when I made this username, it was like 15. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Okay, let me go earlier ones. I'm a non-medical home care agency and drug screening. Okay, so Rena, here's what's key for when somebody like Rena, you have something really, really specific. The government federal may not exactly need these, but there could be something similar. Or you could bid on paving, road paving. You see what I mean? Like, what I want you all to understand, and this is why this side hustle is so amazing, and I didn't even drop, like, the federal government spends over $800 billion a year on contracts. I so should have mentioned that in the beginning. What's so beautiful is you do not have to bid on the things that you have some expertise or degree in. Unless there's something really high level, like cybersecurity. I mean, they're not like, oh, you got a certificate off of Google. I mean, come on. But just keep that in mind. But I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay. Yeah, we already did this one. So this is great. 4-month middleman program is exactly what I'm looking for. I already have my cage code. Okay, Coach Rob 619. Yeah, like I said, it's something I want to build. It's just, there's a lot I want to do, and it's all about everybody here. And don't forget to please like this live. Okay, I'm just going back through this. Okay. Do you offer help managing the contracts if we win them? Yes, Neo, yes. Yeah. I had one of my clients, Daisy, who's actually coming here to Mexico in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to interview her here. Helped her after she won some contracts. The medical uniforms. Okay, so for the medical supplies, a lot of those are procured for the VA, and it's a service disabled small business set aside. Now, but at the state level, take a look. I think I have my air on. Yeah, I'm going to make it a little warmer in here. Okay, I think I'm almost gone through all the questions. When you submit, is it private? Can another company see your bid? Is it private? Well, at the federal level, other companies won't see your bid, but government employees have been known to share documents, just based on my experience. This is not pinging any government people in the eye. I'm just saying I've received contracts from government employees. I mean, proposals, mine contracts too. But in general, it's private. So for instance, I've been on an opportunity with the great state of Florida, and I guess unbeknownst to me, they shared all of the contracts. There were like 15 of them. I mean, all of the proposals with all of us. So I was like, wow. So I still have it to this day. I have everything. I have their pricing. I have their proposals. I have everything. So, yeah, but the federal government, no. You can FOIA requesting information that way, but even with FOIA, I'm not sure if they will give you the actual proposal. They may, but they're going to redact a lot. Thank you for saying I'm the truth. Yeah, I'm not here to BS you or give you some, hyperbole because I've won 3 contracts. You know, I'm not here for that. Checking out the questions. Okay. Any stipulations on a city-state contract not started service in a year? It's for staffing. Okay, so if I understand this correctly, it sounds like you won this and they haven't used the contract. Is that what you're saying to me? If that's true, then put yes, and I don't know if you're still on here or not. And feel free to email me, because there's one thing that people don't talk about because they don't know, because they don't really have contracts, is like you have to be able to work the contract. And this is a contract you have to work. Let's see if you wrote anything. Okay, can you ask the CO not to disclose the information or submit? I mean, you can, but I mean, to me, I have this abundant mindset. I'm like, take a look at all my stuff. And what God has for me is what God has for me. That's just my personal belief. Okay. So thank you, Aaron. You're so sweet. Okay. When registering my business today, I asked if I'm a LSA. I said no. Should I change it to yes? When registering your business, which state did you register in? And give me the acronym for LSA. I got too many acronyms and heads. Yeah, I'm in my head. I love pencils too. Okay. Hold on. Keonta, you said yes. Let me go back to your earlier thing. So with Keonta, this is a great case study. And plus, I love staffing. So often what will happen, it's kind of like, I feel like this is the best example I can give. So I was really gung-ho. I'm like, man, I'm here in Mexico. I'm going to learn Spanish. Like, I have basic understanding of Spanish. And so I signed up for this tutoring app, and I bought all these hours. But and I found a tutor. But the tutor only gets paid when I use the hours. I really haven't used any hours with him. So he's not going to get paid. So this company would need to work that with me, like give me incentive to use it, or text message me every day, or you see what I mean? So the same happens with them, with this agent, with this state, except they haven't paid anything. So with you, it's calling the POC, point of contact, finding out, I've had this contract. What are your plans for this? Do you guys no longer need this? Did you already handle your staffing needs? Are there other staffing needs that you have? Did you just, and you calling to find out what's going on? Because like if they did that with me, I would have said, listen, I have no problem with the fact that I spent the money. At this point in time, I've decided to put my attention elsewhere. My focus is not on becoming proficient in Spanish. It's just not my focus right now. And they would have been like, oh, okay, whatever. Maybe they have a sales spiel, who knows? And so the same goes with the state. They'll tell you. So then that way you're not in this place of just like, you don't know. You have more information. And this doesn't just happen with staffing at the state and local. This happens with other kinds of contracts too. But don't let this discourage you, okay? So please don't get that vibe. Do you offer a course? Natasha, I do. I'm there. I kind of am like, because there's things I'm building. So I'm working on perfecting and building so I can get you all the fastest result in 4 months. Okay. So Aaron, I love you, Aaron. Labor. Are you in a labor supply area? Labor surplus. Hold on. One thing about the government is you want to always find out what is the definition. And they may have had a little box that popped up. So that's what I found online. So And you can always change it. That's the other thing. They're not going to be like, I got you. Like, this isn't like some old school Dave Chappelle skit. Okay. Okay, no. I don't want to wait 3 weeks. Listen, new vision, I can't blame you. That's why I said learn, apply, adjust. Learn, apply, adjust. I know, but I have to do what's best for me. I'm not going to rush, and it's like food. I'm not going to serve you undercooked chicken. I have to do what's best for me. So I appreciate you and I understand. And all I can say is keep coming back. Keep coming back. Join my Facebook group if you haven't. And when you join, the purpose of the group is to help everybody out, give motivation, answer questions. Okay. So, and I appreciate each and every one of you for not only being here, but for, asking about these things, because I know you have a ton of options. And again, it's learn, apply, adjust, learn, apply, adjust. Okay. Oh, Camille, are you going to have a beta group? Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe that's a really good idea to have them meet. I'm going to take a photo of this. I really like that idea of a beta group. I may do that. I don't really know. I don't. So it's a good idea. Yeah, good. I love that, Anson, sorry. It does take time. And that's why I want to make sure I give you the best, because that's what's important. Some of this stuff, I'm like, it's not as good as it should be. And I have more things in the works. So, okay. I love the Facebook group too. I love it. Okay. Nick B, do you have a script that you use when calling companies? I think I've shared some scripts, and I know that there's some scripts in the Facebook group, but after spending time with a colleague, he was so nonchalant when he called the cabinet company, and he really emphasized knowing what they need, what the requirement is, and being able to say it in like 2 sentences. Like, that's important. I think the other thing is just sounding professional, giving them the least amount of information to get the most amount of information back. So I know what you're getting at, Nick. There are scripts in my book, though. There are scripts in here. There are scripts, winnerswaybook.com. So check out the scripts. So check out the scripts and then kind of adjust them based on what I just said. Okay. Yeah. Learn, apply, adjust. It really is. It truly is. Okay. Active duty. How fast should a letter of no objection take? Oh, from the military? Is that what you're asking, Amber of 64? Let me know, because I don't know. Natasha, yes. Look, I love it. Melody's like, hey, I love that you're on here. Yeah, we will definitely talk about proposal writing, because it's so imperative, whether you're doing like a middleman side hustle, whether you're bidding on staffing, whether you're interested in the 8A, like you got to know about the proposal. Oh, AMW, I feel your pain. So I have the wait list, because I'm truly, like I said, I'm working on what works best. And so my intent is, once I get that release, then I'll just end up changing that GovCon site. So, but there are offerings. If you're like, listen, I can't wait, especially those of you who have already said that, send an email, chat@kizzyparks.com. Chat@kizzyparks.com. Melody will get in contact with you, and she will offer you something that we're doing. This is definitely a one-time thing. She'll talk to you about it. And then my new offering. And the new offerings are going to be various price points, probably like $97 a month, maybe $247, $197, stuff like that. Okay. How did you come to get where you are today, and what do you call the position that you're in? Okay, I'm gonna do Anson. Oh, then Aaron. Hold on. Let me do Aaron, because I got the super chat. Aaron, how long did it take you to get to your level? Oh, look at that. You and Anson are on the same wavelength. I mean, it's ongoing. So I started out in 08. I didn't know what I was doing. Well, 07. I started out in 07, and then I incorporated in 08. Started out, didn't know what I was doing. I subcontracted. So for me, as my spiritual advisor said to me, she was like, "Ooh, you a late bloomer." So that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I have made a lot of mistakes. I've even made mistakes of recent, like in the past couple of years. And so how did I get to where I am? I made a lot of mistakes. And when I first started out, I was like this expert, like, I'm going to be the smartest. I'm just going to do diversity and inclusion. And I was all over the Department of Defense. I have a book, Managing Diversity in the Military. I have all these things. I have coins. I have all this stuff. And then there came a time where I looked around and I was like, it was like that moment where I was like, man, I'm not going to be the trophy wife much longer. Like there's going to be another diversity and inclusion person coming in, and I need to figure that out. Plus, a lot of mentors in the Orlando area were like, you're making this money and you'll make more by doing staffing or doing this and doing that. So then I was like, oh man, I need to do that. So then I started doing staffing, right? And I started doing like staffing and services kind of opportunities. So in 2011, I got my 8A. We got our first sole source of $4 million. It was July of 2013. And we've had that contract ever since. Since graduated from the 8A, had a formal mentor through the mentor protege program. And I was still like, just not really doing what I needed to do. There's no other way to put it. Then those things changed. Then I was like, ooh, I got to fix this. Oh, I need a divorce. Oh, I need to lose weight. Oh, I'm not happy. Oh, my life sucks. Oh my God, everybody's a narcissist. This is like I'm serious. This is all the shit that went on. And then, sorry, YouTube. Don't hate me. So like this live, y'all. Like this live. And so then I was like, I can get my life together, and I'm not happy, and I got to figure things out. So I came to Tulum in the fall, and then now I'm back now. So with all of that, it was a lot of just living. So so my story is not like I got into government contracting. Woo! It's not. It was like it was more like a cartoon. And then when it came to like this whole middleman, I didn't even know it was called middleman. I was always doing this. I always had subcontractors or interns working for me. So it was really within the past 5 years where I was like, okay, I got to get things together, because I had a scarcity mindset. So I didn't hire. I didn't train appropriately. I didn't bid on things I should have bid on. I didn't even know about like being able to bid on paving. Nobody taught me that. All of my mentors taught me what they did. And so what makes me different is I'm bringing into the fold other people. People are doing things a little differently, or people who are bidding on things that I would never even look into. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it really was like, ooh, that's really how it has been. So this is the best version of me. And I'm over here crushing it. I got my little weight loss to do. I got to get my body fat down to 20%. Hair is popping. Look how long this hair is. Don't be playing with me, y'all. 28 for life. Living my best life. So how long did it take? A long time for me. And I'm not done though. You know, I'm not done at all. I'd said to myself, I was like, you know, KPC is like an appetizer when it comes to business. My next few businesses are going to be the Grand Slams. That's going to be like my moment. So that's just for me. You know, I'm being honest. I'm being open with you. That's been my life. So I did go to the Tulum Jungle Gym. I actually have a couple t-shirts in there. Yes. And I'm going to keep, so hopefully that answers your questions. You have to have an LLC. You can be a sole proprietor. Did that answer y'all's question? Aaron Anson? Okay. Yes. Yes. I know. You're like, whoa, that took a Young and the Restless turn, didn't it? I did my SAM, SBA vet, hub. Oh gosh, I love it. Man, Amber 64, you're doing it all. So what, Amber, so when you were talking about you said clearance or something. Tell me what you're talking about. Are you talking about like permission from the military, or are you talking about getting all your set-asides? Oh, yes, you did answer it from the military. Yes, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Oh my gosh, we almost have 200 people. This is crazy. I have to go to bed soon because I got to work out. It's very important to me. So, Ambra, and anybody else watching, if you are enlisted military, you have more leeway as far as being a government contractor. But you still should look into getting permission, because getting permission is much better than asking for forgiveness. If you are a military officer, don't even try it. If you are a civilian employee, I have a great interview with Mr. Durr, Mr. Al Durr on the channel. And what he ended up doing was contracting to state and local. Okay. And I think he notified whoever HR that he had to, but watch that video. Because for those of you that try to do the run little game, be careful. Be careful. Yeah, thank you. It is 28 for life. I firmly believe in the power of our minds and manifesting. If you say to yourself, listen, I'm going to win. I'm going to win a contract. I'm going to be successful. I'm 28 for life. I'm aging in reverse. That's what you're going to do. Oh, look at you, Wes. You're so sweet. If you say these things, that's what's going to happen. If you say some stuff like, this is hard and I ain't going to get anywhere, and my life sucks, and I hate my baby mama, I hate my baby daddy, and I hate life, and then that's what you're going to get. And I know this because that's how I used to be. I was always like, nothing was enough. And then I hyper work because of all my childhood trauma. This is no joke. You know, you can make all the money in the world, you can be successful and do all these things, but then if you're struggling, you're struggling. Like, I mean, like I think about Kate Spade. You know, I just saw that there were some influencers. I went to one of her shows. I mean, she committed suicide. You know, there's a lot of people like that. And it's not to make this dark, it's to be real. This is bigger than freaking government contracts and a side hustle. This is life. You can't have an abundant life if you think life is terrible and your mindset is crap. You can't have an abundant life if your health is so bad, right? Having an abundant life, the finances are a part of it, but then there's your spiritual part. You know, there's your health, there's your family, there's love, there's your giving part. There's so much in there, you know, your family, if I didn't already say that. So that's why I'm so passionate, because this is way bigger than some middleman. This is way bigger than some side hustle. This is some stuff that can really take you to places you never expected. Okay, so a factoring company. I interviewed one, Republic Capital. Go to the video though, because there's another Republic Capital and sometimes people pull it up and it's not the right one. However, I know that there's certain contracts they like to factor. So that's the only one who I recommend, because eons ago I used them. Otherwise, you're going to have to look it up. Yeah, I love 28 for life. I see 25, 28, 21, 14, 18, 92, whatever. It's all, I'm like 28 for life. And it's so fun too, because my brother, I call him my twin. We have different dads. And every time somebody meets me, they're like, oh my God, so Steven is older than you? He hates that too. And I'm 9 years older. Okay, so let's keep going. We're going to go a little longer. Does being a city employee stop you from getting contracts? Well, I mean, look at the mayor outside of Chicago. I mean, shoot, seems like over there it'll help you get some contracts. Okay, now, technically the answer is yes within that area. Check with them if it bars you from getting city contracts anywhere else. I mean, I'm about asking permission. You don't want to ask forgiveness. Okay. Republic. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can get the video for you. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the video and just share the link. The question is around is around factoring companies. And I just want to make sure you have everything there so you can reach out to Matt. Again, they fund certain types of contracts. So maybe they can send you somewhere else, and you can also look it up. But here is who I use. Here's the video. Okay, there you go. Okay, awesome. Inner talk, what Say is going to, it is, it really is. It truly is. Okay, Alicia, I love that. Alicia Fuller, what's up? Eric, I love that you're on it. I love apply. Yep, learn, apply, adjust. Okay. Do middlemen take home the balance that was left over of the subcontracting has been priced? So Kimmy, you pay, so let's go back to the initial opportunity I shared at the very beginning, which is for cabinets, right? For at a park. So let's say you get 5 quotes and you're like, you know what, basically I'm going to bid this at $30,000. You know, you're like $30,000 covers the spread. Sorry, you're like, let me rewind. You're like, I'm going to pay out 30,000, and maybe you add in 10, 20,000 for your profit to this opportunity. Okay. So when you go to invoice, you are invoicing the award amount. So let's say it's $50,000. So you invoice 50, you get paid into your bank account. The bank account you put into Sam.Gov, you get paid, and then you pay the vendor whatever you agree to, and you keep the rest. And it's none of their business. Think about Amazon. Does Amazon know the profit margin of OtterBox? I don't know. I mean, it's Amazon. They might know, but maybe not. Do they need to know the profit margin? Is it really any of their, I mean, you know? So it's like those types of things are sacred. That's why you don't see a lot of people saying like, oh, on my Futuro wrist guards, I'm making a 90% profit because I get these for 5 cents in China. You know, like people aren't always talking about that. You hear about it on Shark Tank, you know, or some people out there, but this is across the board. You know, I know in the restaurant industry, I think their profit's 3 to 5%. No, but not everybody shares it. You don't hear Kim Kardashian, Fenty. I don't know what Rihanna's profit margins are. So that's how it works, Kimmy, okay? I'm going to answer a couple more. Keep it moving. I'm a non-resident alien registered in Sam as a foreign entity. However, I don't think I can get SBA credited. Non-resident alien. I would just focus on getting your cage code and being labeled a small business. That's what I would focus on. And if you are in the US, you can call the SAM hotline, 866-606-8220. If you are outside of the US, you can call 334-206-7828. Okay? So check with them about that. But that's a great question. And when it comes to Sam.Gov, CPARS, good old PI system, and IPP, they love to help you. So when they have a phone number, an email, they want to help you. How do you build a relationship with a point of contact? Prentice. It varies. It really varies on your goal. So for instance, let's take the one with the cabinets. I may call the point of contact and be like, hey, Fred, you know, I just want to let you know, I'm looking forward to submitting this for the cabinets. We currently have a contract with Department of Interior. I just wanted you to be aware and, you know, hey, how are you doing? Like maybe start some small talk, tell them about this work I'm doing. It all depends on their vibe, because a lot of times they're not going to answer the phone or they're not going to respond to your email. Now, if we're talking about it's an event, like a small business event, it's a networking event, then that's completely different. You know, you're wanting them to be your biggest cheerleader. So I could go on, and I definitely got to go in a few minutes. So it's a really good question. Make sure I talk about that. I don't do one-on-one calls anymore. International fly. So I don't do one-on-one calls. But what you can do is join my Facebook group. Post questions there. Was Apex Accelerator? Apex Accelerator is a program under the Department of Defense to help small business owners help y'all, help us all get some contracts. That is the goal. Oops, hold on. I'm going to give you the link to it, y'all. Is it? Okay. When you're on Sam.Gov, often, and I'll show you guys an example. Just one second. Okay. I appreciate your patience. Please hit the notification button, share, subscribe. So this is just an arbitrary opportunity that's available. And it says right here, looking for contract help, free government expertise. It's funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the Department of Defense. It used to be called a Procurement Technical Assistance Program, and you can find your Apex here. Now, you may wonder, why is it blocked? Well, I am in Mexico, and I did not put my VPN on. So let's say, Ambre, girl, you in Hawaii? We have contracts in Hawaii. So if I had my VPN on, it would take you to a list. It would take you to a website that will then you'll be able to search. So please don't let my lack of putting my VPN on prevent you from going there. Now, I do want to say something. Every Apex differs. So, again, it's learn, apply, adjust. Learn, apply, adjust. The information, it may vary, but just take it and just run with it is all I can say. Dibs, I'm not a fan of Dibs. I'm not a fan at all. I believe I'm interviewing somebody who wants some stuff on Dibs. I think I am. Because I asked a few people to interview them, and they were kind of, they just didn't want to be on camera. I understand that. It is an agreement. You just have a business agreement. We have them sign an independent contractor service agreement. So they're your subcontractor. So we have them sign an NDA, non-disclosure, independent contractor service agreement. We give them a W-9 unless they're a corporation. Then we don't do any of that because then they don't get a 1099. And we typically issue a purchase order. So then everybody knows you're getting 5,000, you're getting 150, you're getting $500,000, you're getting 25,000. So there's no wait a minute, the text message 2 weeks ago, you told me I'm getting this amount. We don't play like that. We run a tight ship. It's based on the legalities around the document. So I had my legal team create them. Excuse me. Fuller & Lardner, shout out to them. Keeping me undefeated in court since the beginning. After you win a contract as the middleman, how do you get paid? ACH, direct deposit into the bank account listed in your Sam.Gov site. Anson, thank you for taking time to tune in. Facebook group, awesome. Yep, teaming agreement. Tekovia, so I didn't really mention, I'm gonna hone in on this. I didn't really mention a teaming agreement so much. A teaming agreement is okay, we're gonna work on this together. But sometimes people don't work on the things together just because they have a teaming agreement. Sometimes they don't team with them. So just be careful. So you want a subcontractor agreement, independent service contractor agreement, an NDA, and a purchase order. So these are great. They're awesome. But for instance, there was a firm where they wanted us to partner. They gave me a teaming agreement. I learned some things about them, and I ghosted them. I'm not going to lie with y'all. I'm not going to BS you. I only work with people with high integrity, so that's how I am. Thanks for the link. Great. Oh, How about the prime refuses to pay the sub? Sue them. Or take it as a learning tax. What are your thoughts on bookkeepers? Shania, Shanina. I don't think I've pronounced it at all right. I know Pickleberry. By all means, there was a woman, Inga, who she started off as our bookkeeper, and she has a very successful, she recently graduated from the 8A program. I know she bought a construction company. I know she's done staffing. Her name is Inga. So yeah, the thing is, she's not offering bookkeeping services to the government. She's offered to the government what they buy. And that's a big takeaway. And some people struggle with that. It's like, but wait a minute, no, my expertise is cell phones. That's amazing, but maybe they don't want to buy that many cell phones. So it's all depending on what you want to do. Okay, I think I've answered all of these questions, pretty much all of them. Networking events, I have a list. I haven't really made it public, but I do have a list. There's no one place. You can look them up on Sam.gov, but they're kind of, I'm like, yeah, they're under special notice. There's really no one place. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do about my list, but I do have a list of events. Okay. I think we're good. Prentice, you just post questions in the Facebook group and we'll answer it. People will answer. Okay. Yeah, don't do one-on-one calls. We talked about that. Okay. A couple more questions. Can you offshore a substantial amount of your in-house processes? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Daniel, you can offshore as much as you want. Don't worry about it. Okay, I think we're coming to an end. Cue coming to the end sounds. Wait a minute. That's me taking a shower and getting ready for bed because I have to work out at 10 in the morning. What is the difference between middleman and prime contracting? So the prime contractor is the company who has the contract. Like your name is on the contract agreement. The subcontractor, the middleman, whatever else you want to call it, they're the people that you're paying to do the thing. But you're the one with the contract. Okay. Does your book have start to finish back office requirements? Does your book like this book? winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. Start to finish back office requirements. I don't go into great detail about back office because that's really up to you. I ran into a company and they were like, yeah, we started out doing HR. Now we outsourced it all. I mean, some people are comfortable with that. I am not comfortable with that. So I did not go into detail about it, but you can outsource it. You can have an internal. I'm all about a mixture. What happens if you win the contract for 10K, but then the sub ends up updating their quote to 15, get a new sub. That's what you do. Because from at the very beginning of our time together today, in the requirement, it said you have to keep your pricing for 90 days. So then you would notify the people you're getting these quotes from, hey, this price is good for 90 days. Now, you could go back to the government and say, hey, once you've been awarded, I need a price increase. But if they said, hey, it's good for 90 days, it's only day 82, then you're going to have to get somebody else. And somebody else will do it. That's the other thing. People think, well, but they said it's going to take $50,000 for the cabinets. If you call up somebody and say, listen, I have $35,000 for you to do cabinets cash right now. Oh, when do you need them? Right. Oh, I love Mexico. I'm going to be here for a very long time. And I'm going to buy a place here. I do. The documents. Just one second. Oh. gcwdocs.co. gcwdocs.co. My book, GovCon Winner's Way, How to Win Government Contracts Faster Than Trying to do it alone. That's the book. You can get it at winnerswaybook.com, and you get a bunch of free resources with this book. If you buy it on Amazon, you will not get any of those resources. So buy it through winnerswaybook.com. Insurance, just Google like Geico. If you need general liability, use any of those. They're all good. IT construction, top areas you recommend for an 8A company new to GovCon. Okay, do you have an 8A firm? If you do, send me an email and tell me that you have an 8A. You have to have an 8A firm, like the SBAs, like you're in the 8A program. So if you really have an 8A, there's more to this discussion. And it's not because I'm just saying, because sometimes people reach out to me and they're like, I'm 8A. And I'm like, and then they're not 8A. So again, I'm just saying because I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Do you offer a list of funding and grants for startups? So I don't, because like it's all about why do you need the money? What's the purpose of the startup money? There are different grants like, somebody won one. Actually, one of my students who went through my challenge, he's in a program right now through like his state or his city. So most of the grants for businesses, like for startups, you're going to have to Google it. It's going to be through like, for instance, Sarah, who started Spank, she has programs. Goldman Sachs has a program. There was a program at Rollins College in Orlando that I was a part of. So a lot of them are going to be local or US wide and connected to like Google, Facebook, somebody like that. Okay, 8A program here. Basically, and how long does it get through? You're in the program for 9 years. So I'm going to quickly answer this, and then it's time to say goodbye. Yes, it is. So the 8A program. The 8A program is a program that dates back many, many years. And today it is based on your net worth. And if you have experienced social economic disadvantages, I want to say your net worth. Let me look it up because I don't have it memorized. You can also look this up through the SBA's website is what I suggest, because of course there's tons of companies who offer to do this for a fee, and I want you to be able to see everything and not have to deal with all of that. So, okay. So they have some guidance. So you're going to have to go to certify.sba.gov. You're going to need to write a narrative. That was super helpful. So here are the qualifications, and then I'll tell you what you get, what you win at the end once you're approved. And I do have a video about the 8A program. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. You have to be a small business. So for instance, my colleague is not going to be a small business much longer, so he could not apply. You can only be in the program once unless you fall under the Super 8A category. Has to be 51% owned and controlled by U.S. citizen. This is not you finding somebody, make them the head of the company, but they're not really doing anything. Yes, this has happened. Yes, people have been busted doing this. Please don't do things like that. Your net worth is $850,000 or less, and your adjusted gross income of $400,000 or less. Because remember, this is a program for social economic disadvantage. So if you're somebody where your net worth is over $850,000, you're making $500,000 a year, and your assets totaling, your assets are over 6.5, you're not going to qualify. You have to have good character and potential for success. They like that you've been in business for 2 years, but you don't have to have been in business for 2 years. It's also valuable that you've had like 125, 250,000 in contracts, not from your former employer. And it's great if you've had the contracts from like 2 or 3 different clients. Then you have to apply. So you can apply through certify.sba.gov. Because I'm not on my VPN, I'm not going to be able to go on there. This is the same site you apply for the woman-owned. I'm not sure if they moved HubZone over there, but it's a very crucial site. But don't worry. That's why I have my NordVPN. I am not sponsored by them, but the damn thing works, and I love it. There is let's see what else. They do, it looks like they have different meetings to help you with the program. I would take full advantage, because if things happen with the election, they probably won't have these much longer. So I'm just keeping it real. So in essence, with this, the government has set aside has set aside contracts that are 8A. So that means they're in the program. They can only be awarded to 8A companies. You get it for 9 years unless you're a super 8A. And they can also sole source 4.5 and then hire for manufacturing. So that's the beauty of these. But at the same time, I will definitely put that link in there. Thank you for asking. At the same time, you have to understand what it takes to find, bid, and win profitable government contracts. Because 9 years seems like a lifetime. And in reality, 9 years goes by really fast. So it's an extremely valuable program. I graduated from it several years ago. It's amazing. However, you have to be able to know how to use it and how to market it and all of those kinds of things. Do you mainly use Google for subcontractors? Oh, we use everything. So y'all are amazing. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button. You all are amazing. There's no reason this can't be a side hustle. It can't be a main hustle. It's what you want it to be. But at the end of the day, it's here for you. Over $800 billion with the federal government. So I love and adore each and every one of you. I appreciate you being here. winnerswaybook.com. Please check it out. There's going to be lots of links in the comments. Amber, 9 years, you better get 5-year contracts so you can make that money in relationships. Yeah, there's no reason you can't. There's no reason. So, and I'm always looking for 8As to partner with. If you are an 8A, email me at chat@kizzyparks.com. And I appreciate, again, each and every one of you for being here, supporting the channel. We're on a mission. We got a lot of good, amazing things coming up. So I'm not here to play. Not here to play. So mahalo to you. Adios to everybody here. Got to get ready for that workout in the morning. Appreciate each and every one of you, and keep looking at the things that most people would never look at. And don't forget, everything is possible, y'all. Everything is possible. Keep coming back. Hit the notification.